Smoking some ribs today on Up in Smoke, all about barbecue. I'm Becky, and these are my St. Louis style spare ribs that I am just doing some trimming on to get them ready to go onto the grill. So I've got this little flap over here that I'm going to take off so we can kind of expose the bones on, have the bones exposed on both sides. And I'm going to take a little more of this fat off. Then we gotta flip it over. So we're gonna do these ribs. It's probably gonna take us about 3 hours all told. When I early on first started smoking and wanted to smoke some ribs, all I'd heard about was the 3-2-1 method, where you put them on to smoke for 3 hours and then you take them off, you wrap them up in some foil with some brown sugar and some butter, put them back on for 2 hours, and then you take them off and you unwrap them and you sauce them and put them back on for another hour. And wasn't real happy with the results when I tried that. So I used to make them in the oven and didn't take nearly as long, still at a low and slow temperature in the oven even, and thought, that's weird that I like them from the oven better than I liked them off the smoker. So decided to try applying some of what I know from cooking them in the oven to the smoker, and we liked them a whole lot better. It took maybe 3 hours all told. So, because ribs, you can tell they have a lot of bone to meat ratio on these, so they really don't have to take that long, in my mind, to smoke. So on the back here, all I'm doing is I'm cutting off this big flap and cutting some of this down. This is the kind of bone side back here. And I'm gonna cut off some of these teeny tiny bones at the end because they won't really, some of them, they'll kind of just like burn off the bone. Get rid of that. And then the fun part is taking off the membrane. I've bought these places sometimes. I actually got some from Butcher Box a long time ago, and they had it all done for me. They had the membrane removed and everything. But now I am going to, all you have to do is find a good spot on here. Sometimes it doesn't come off super easy. Sometimes you can get it all off in one nice piece. So we're gonna remove this membrane, just start pulling it off. Use the paper towel to be able to hold on to it. And when you really get it and get it going, you'll hear it. It sounds like, kind of like plastic almost tearing away. So I'm gonna finish getting this off, and then we'll start seasoning them up for the grill. So we're ready to, I'm gonna put on some mustard here, just a light little smear to hold on our spices again. You could do some Worcestershire here, or some coconut aminos, or some sort of even liquid smoke if you wanted to. Because we're just gonna do very light, especially on this bone side, so we can get our spices to stick back here a little better. Do a little mustard on both sides, both of them, both racks. I'm getting 2 racks on today. And then I'm gonna use my seasoning that is sort of a halfway between my preferred beef rub and a chicken rub. I've got a few little herbs in here too, just like thyme. And then I've got some celery seed in here too. And of course, light brown sugar and salt and pepper. And we're just gonna get this all nicely patted in, dust this over here. Very well coated. Very nice. And then we'll flip them over and do the same on the other side. Get some nice mustard on here. I had a backup bottle just in case because I wasn't sure how much I had left in this one. Always have backup. And then we're just gonna season this side up too, and then we will be heading out to the grill again. All right, so we are ready to get our ribs on. We're gonna put them in our rib rack here, and this will help me get more than one rack on my kettle grill too, and it'll help them get a little more evenly smoked. So I'm gonna come back 30 minutes for me, about half a second for you, and check them, and we're probably gonna spritz them up a little bit and keep an eye on them every 30 minutes. Probably take about an hour and a half for the smoking portion. Hey, so we are ready to check and spritz one more time, and I think actually these are about good. Yes, I'm touching them with my finger. We're gonna spritz them a little bit, and I'm gonna go get my foil, and we're gonna sauce these up and wrap them up. And I'm actually gonna finish them in the oven because once we get them all wrapped up in foil, it doesn't really matter if you put them back out here or in your oven. So I'm gonna finish them in there. Okay, we are ready to wrap up our ribs. I've got a little of a homemade Hawaiian flavored barbecue sauce. It has little crushed pineapple and pineapple juice. That's why it's Hawaiian flavored. That's all. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little of this on the side, and then I'm gonna brush this around, get a little bit more, save some for the other side, brush this all around a little bit on this side. Then I've got some brown sugar I'm gonna sprinkle over, get it all nice and swoosed up here. Okay, get a little brown sugar I'm gonna sprinkle all over here. Nice like that. Maybe a smidge more. And then I'm gonna, whoops. Okay, that came out a little more than I expected to right there. I'm gonna pour a little melted butter over this. Just a little on this side, leave enough for the other side. Then I'm going to flip it and do the same thing on this side. Get this done so I can touch it. There we go. Get some sauce over here. Whoops. I may just have to pour because there's not much left. And same thing on this side. Just going to get this all brushed around over here. Put some more, sprinkle some more brown sugar on, and put some more butter. And then I'm going to wrap this up. I've got my oven ready at 275, and I'm going to put it in there since, like I said, since it's all wrapped up in foil and everything. Then I'm going to put a teeny bit more sauce on this side over here, this corner. Then I'm going to start checking it after about an hour, because all I want now is for the racks of ribs to be nice and bendy so we know they're good and tender. So now I'm going to, I ended up getting sauce on me anyway. So there we go. Then we're just going to wrap it. Whoops. There, we will spread that around a little bit. Spread this around. There we go. Pour our butter over. And get this off. Oops. Now, this side, fold in our sides like a nice little pocket. And then fold it over. And get both our racks into the oven. Okay, so Tim didn't start the camera in time. I'm already cutting into these, and they look good. Do you want to taste them?
Oh, yeah.
So my favorite taster. Ooh,
all right.
This part. Let's see.
Whoa.
Bring your plate a little bit closer.
This sort of barbecue love needs a glove, so we're going to put on my, I don't want to ruin my manicure.
These are really juicy this time.
Yeah.
Ruin your manicure?
Mm-hmm.
What?
All right.
So,
Yeah, I don't like sauce up underneath my fingernails.
yeah, that's why. These are our favorite gloves
All right.
for ribs.
My expectation is this is just going to pull off the bone.
Well, it usually does.
Oh
I like
my.
ribs.
It's a little hot though. Here we go. Grab it from the right side. Look at that. Just tear right off.
Right off clean.
Whoa.
That's the way I like my ribs.
That
to
is-
just come right off the bone.
That is just gorgeous. We got the smoke ring. All right, I'm diving in.
Taste it already. Tell me what you think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Got the smoke taste.
So we used a little of the Hawaiian flavored
Tender.
barbecue sauce. Has a little pineapple in it. That's why I call it that. A little bit of spice too. A little bit of cayenne. A little paprika, smoked paprika.
Mm-hmm.
Put them on the smoker for about an hour and a half until the bark is good and set. Go out and check them every half hour and give them a little spritz with some water. And then bring them in, put on some sauce and some brown sugar and some melted butter, wrapped them up in the foil and just put them in the oven at 275 for about an hour. Start checking them at about an hour and make sure that when you pick them up in the middle, they're nice and bendy. So that's when you know they're really good and tender. And hopefully do that where they pull right off the bone.
Oh yeah.
And so I want to try a little bite and see.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, it comes right off the bone.
Another one pulls right off the bone.
Very nice and tender.
Oh yeah.
That's the best way to have ribs.
You nailed it, baby. Oh. Mm.
So these are really good. I wish you had smell-o-vision so you could smell them. We're in 2022 and still no smell-o-vision.
Nope.
But tastes really good. I'm ready to wrap this up so I can get back to these ribs because they taste really great. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe. Leave us any questions down below, and we will see you next time. I want to eat.
All right.